Hello and welcome to another episode of Schnozzcast. Your hosts, all the hosts are back together today. Bob, Cory, Nick, and Todd. Tonight we got a little gentleman's agreement for you and Nick's existential question of the week. Going around the horn, starting in Seattle. Todd, how are you?
I am fantastic.
Cory, how are you?
Oh, hey.
There it is.
It's been a while.
Nick, how are you?
I am mighty.
Gentlemen, it's been a little bit since we've been behind the mics, but here we are.
A little bit, you say?
A little bit.
Back together at last.
Yep.
Boys are back in town.
Word to the mama.
Back, what?
I said word to the mother.
Oh, okay. I'm like, back to the mama. What does that mean?
Not the mama.
All right, if you were new to the podcast, thank you for joining us. You can follow us out here each and every weekend. You can follow us for older episodes out of the streaming services, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Premium, YouTube Music.
There you go.
Yep,
YouTube Premium.
it.
What?
Wow.
We upgraded.
There is a premium, but you don't have to do that.
That's so you don't have to watch ads.
Oh,
you have to
I would
pay
recommend
for that.
too, if you can afford it, right?
At $10 a month. I don't know. I kind of don't mind ads.
No,
not for $10 a month.
This is when Bob's letting his tax bracket slip. He's like, "Oh, I just assumed everyone had premium."
Bob sneezes $10 a month.
Watch an ad in 12 years.
Are you guys not part of the Platinum Diamond Alliance?
Exactly.
Diamond Jubilee.
All those YouTube miles.
You can also follow us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Schnozzcast. You can email us at schnozzcast@gmail.com, or you can call or text us anytime, day or night, 618-SHOCKER.
Baby.
Shocker.
All right, gentlemen. Tomorrow's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day in advance to all the dads out there. Hopefully your better half does something nice for you. Gives you a break from mowing the lawn. Gives you a little, present with some scotch or some bourbon or something.
Yeah, ladies, don't forget Father's Day. It can be a bitch if you forget big events.
One day out of the year, I wish I was a father.
Well, once you become a father, then every day you're a father. There's no, every day's your day.
Every day's Father's Day then.
Every day's your day. Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Can't
right.
wait.
And yes, happy belated birthday to Mary out on the West Coast.
Happy birthday.
Mary, I know
It was Mary's birthday?
I heard that
Says
it might have
who?
been Mary's birthday.
Oh,
I was going to text her, and then I realized I didn't have her number.
We should have told Todd.
you should have told me.
We should have done the episode.
Can you imagine the awesome
You
presents
should-
and celebration
someone
would happen
should have
if
told-
Todd had known?
Dude, it's even worse. Tim Sharp, my buddy's here, and he got up in the morning, went downstairs, and told Mary happy birthday. Didn't say a fucking word to me, and I was fucking walking around oblivious. And I'm like, "Hey, we have to do this because we'd be done by this time because I got a podcast tonight, and you fuckers are gonna get out of the way because I'm a professional. I don't, I come prepared. I show up on time, and then freaking, I'm marshaling the crew, telling them what they're gonna do, and then freaking Mary dropped a bomb on me.
Wait, how did the bomb get dropped on you?
She goes, "Did you forget it's my birthday?" She goes, "Oh no." She goes, "We're going to be going out to dinner for my birthday. Are you going to be able to join us when you're done with your podcast?"
Oh no, that's the worst. Did you try to do a save at any point? Like,
Nope.
I knew that. I
Nope.
was just testing you.
No. It was such an egregious error. And so before anybody calls the shocker line or does anything else, I know I suck. Biggest fuck up of my career.
How long have you guys been married? Just like a year or two, right?
Mary's first birthday with Todd.
I mean, it must have worked out for Mary, right?
Oh, my goodness.
It must have worked out for Mary, though, right? Because now she's got you over a barrel, and the present
She's got me over a barrel. Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So I was done. The only thing I did that was right was I canceled on you fuckers. I was able to miraculously. There is an amazing Thai restaurant near the beach in West Seattle.
You bought her a Thai restaurant.
I was able to get her over there and get her one of her favorite meals, and probably one of the best meals she's had in a long, long time. I was able to pull that off and even got drinks ahead of that. So I was able to muster a little bit of goodwill, but I'm definitely over the barrel. So tomorrow tomorrow we'll be going to Bare Naked Ladies, and some other stuff is going on as well.
All right.
She's dragging you to Bare Naked Ladies.
She's not dragging me. I like the naked ladies.
Did she end up ordering
It's a good thing to say on your wife's birthday present.
Yeah.
She end up ordering cream of some young guy?
But wait, yeah, when you say you managed to pull it off, is this a restaurant that like they're booked weeks in advance? There's no way you can get in. Somehow you gotta. Okay.
Yes.
Did you?
No, I called. I'm like, I need a reservation. they
Mr. Dillon.
They started laughing at me.
It must be the wife's birthday.
We stopped taking reservations for yesterday, sir.
And so keep going. Let's role play this. I'd like Nick to play the role of the owner of the Thai restaurant.
I'm sorry, sir. We don't have any availability this evening.
Hang on real quick. Can I throw one quick thing in there for you to add to this skit?
Yeah.
So when Todd calls, you need to ask for it's.
Let's start from the phone call.
Let's say it was 6 o'clock at night. Mm-hmm. Todd is asking for a reservation at 3:30. Just to show, like, oh yeah, no, I made the reservation way in advance.
I feel like they'd be like, oh, hang on, yeah, we don't. I'm sorry, we're completely booked. We don't have any availability for you this evening. Todd probably said.
Well, let's do the ring,
bro. And here's what I said. I said, bro.
Oh no. This is the whole point of doing the skit. You gotta. So Nick's phone's ringing.
Peking duck. Can I help you?
Classy.
Isn't that Chinese? Oh wait, never mind.
Hold on. Chinese, not Thai. Exactly.
Apple of my Thai. Can I help you?
That's an awesome restaurant name. I'm going to buy a restaurant name of that. Apple of my Thai. Hey, I'm trying to get a reservation for tonight. It's my wife's birthday.
I'm sorry, we're completely booked. And you sound black.
So I know. So here's my question. I know that you're saying that you're all booked. Do you have seats available now? Can I walk in?
I mean, only if we have 2 tables left, but it's in the I forgot my wife's birthday section.
Actually, they did say, the guy goes, we do have tables. There's like 2 or 3 tables open right now. If you're coming right now, I go, reserve one of those tables. I'm like, it's my wife's birthday and I forgot it. I go, I need to make this work. And he's like, we're completely booked. And I said, I gotta get in there. And you're telling me there are seats open right now. I'd like to reserve one of those seats, and I'll be just about 45 minutes late.
40. Okay.
Yep. So they were able to.
And then she tells me to hold on, and then basically. She gets back on the phone and she says, we don't have any reservations open, but what time do you think that you'll be here? And she goes, I can get you on the wait list for whatever the wait is at that point. And I said, perfect. And so they got me actually they got basically reserved a spot for me without reserving a spot.
They're like, Todd's like, yep, finally got a table. As long as we agreed to sit at the table by the bathroom. The reservation was for 10:45 and we couldn't get dessert.
And that table will be available 45 minutes after we arrive in the door.
Exactly.
So it's just a real short wait of sitting there staring at each other while you think of all the ways that I've disappointed you. In the last.
Oh, you ponder on how I forgot your birthday.
Let me count the ways.
Hey, a good meal will wash away a lot of anger.
So you didn't have to like offer up like, hey, I'll slip $200 to the wait staff if you get me in.
Dude, I don't roll like that.
Well, but wouldn't you have if you'd said, look, I can get you a table for $200?
I'm not even gonna. Mary might actually be listening to this episode, so I'm not gonna say what I would say.
She doesn't listen to this show.
She does not. She doesn't care for you guys.
Yeah. me in particular, I feel.
And now I'm joining the crew. I think maybe this dumbassery is rubbing off on me.
I really need to thank you for taking the heat off of me with Mary.
Perhaps Mr. Jackson would persuade you.
The only thing I wish right now is I wish I would have known it was Mary's birthday so I could have texted her before Todd even forgot to forget her birthday.
Oh, if we had all known, we would have been showering her with praise and texts and phone calls.
I mean, what Todd should have said was, well, it was going to be a surprise, but the entire show was going to be dedicated to you tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
If you'd rather that I just come to dinner, that's fine. I get it. I know you're not a fan of the podcast. We can do that another time. But just so you're aware, It was a full day. There was a whole big thing.
Yeah,
I was going to have
the
you.
Marycast tonight.
I was going to have you in the office with me. I bought a microphone for you.
You got to have a calling guest.
So I think, and it is, but it's a tribute to how flat-footed and how truly brain dead I am, because I totally forgot. Like I said, there was no like try. My brain couldn't have reacted in any way other than, yep, I'm busted. It's like there was no backpedaling or getting some miraculous save. It was so, because again, I normally don't screw up this badly, and again, don't call the shocker line, don't write any letters, don't show up around my house picketing. I forgot one birthday.
Candy cane, if you're listening.
I'm gonna get all manner of other shit.
He thinks we've got followers we just don't have. He's like, he's living like 3-4 years in the future. Like, hey,
dude, people stop me all the time when I'm in the city. I was in the city today, and people stop me.
As a matter of fact, that's how he got the reservation at Apple of My Tie.
Are you?
Did you not know I'm Todd Dillon from the Schnozzcast?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Todd?
Mr.
Are you Todd from the Schnozzcast?
Sorry, Mr. Dillon. We will get you in right away.
I think that's Todd from the Schnozzcast over there.
It's actually the Schnozzcast with Todd Dillon.
you should call them back. I just want to say thank you for accommodating my wife and I on her birthday that I forgot, and we'd really like you to sponsor our podcast.
Yes. Thank you, Budaraska. Thank you, Budaraska. We really love you. Great food, great service. Thank you so much.
If I could ask something else out of you guys, I'd like you to give me money.
I'm being dead serious. I think our first official sponsor should be a Seattle-based Thai restaurant.
Well, Todd, get to work.
I'm on it.
They've probably never been approached by anyone else ever for this kind of publicity.
When they find out how many customers are getting from
right.
this little fucking segment.
Yeah.
They got Todd and Mary.
Yeah. Okay, you guys want to keep on moving here?
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, real quick, buddy.
Yeah.
What kind of party did you have down here?
What?
My chair's got a big old gouge taken out of the armrest.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been over there.
Someone has.
What are you looking at me for?
I don't know.
I haven't been in the basement since
I
you
just
lived
like
there.
looking at you.
It does not, does it?
Yeah.
A gouge out of the armrest?
Yeah, like someone took a knife to it.
A knife? Oh, now he's getting up out of the chair.
This is a great podcast, boys. All freaking dead air and chair inspections. Do you have a ripped armchair?
Something under there. If you put
Come to schnozzcast.com. We'll help you out.
Everything good?
Yeah, I mean, I just noticed it today that
okay.
it's new. It's not, the chair still functions, obviously, but
I think it's, first of all, I thought it was like leather or fake leather, but it's just like plastic.
Okay.
And I think it's from pushing it under the table. I think.
Good. The way you're looking at me, like I had anything to do with what I'm like in my head. I'm like,
I don't know.
in my head, I'm
Feels
just
like you did,
picturing
Bob.
like
you
you
protest
and
a
me being
bit too
drunk
much,
down here
sir.
with a knife, and we just go, this is going to be hilarious.
He's
never
protesting a
imagine
bit
that.
too much. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Todd, I will say he was very concerned that I was looking at him.
Yeah.
I was just having a conversation between
That's
friends.
the guilt.
It's
the
not my
guilt
chair,
jumping
though. Yeah, you're not looking at Nick, you're looking at me. I was like,
So-
what the fuck?
He was doing his voodoo. He cut that chair and then wished I'd forget Mary's birthday, you bastard.
And it worked.
Damn it, Bob.
That's an elaborate plan. I'm not sure we have the brain power in this room to hold off a plan like that.
Oh, I got something for you guys real quick, too.
Sweet.
So Danielle and I were at an annual rib cook-off tonight that her friends host every year.
What city?
They would be in Utica.
Okay.
Yeah, Utica, I believe.
So my expectations are fairly low.
I mean, there was nine guys that each made a slab of ribs, so there was a shit ton of ribs.
It's 9 people in Utica that know how to make ribs, Todd. I think you better retract that statement.
So there was a new couple there this year that we had never seen before, never met before, but we were sitting at the picnic table with them, and we were having normal conversation, and I happened to look across at Rick, which is a potential new follower and listener to the podcast. He was very excited that we had a podcast.
Okay.
So I sent him all the links. And he's like, oh, yeah, dude, definitely going to check it out. And he's like, I drive everywhere for work. And so that's all I do is listen to podcasts. So, Rick, if you're listening, thank you, buddy. But thank you even more because he was sitting there and I was looking at his sunglasses. And I turned and I looked at Danielle and I'm like, this son of a bitch.
Stole my sunglasses?
No. I'm like, those are the sunglasses.
The dude sunglasses?
They were the actual ones. Not the knockoff $20 ones I have from Amazon. The actual Varnier.
Okay.
What's the name of like not the wood grain, but like the turtle shell?
Tortoise shell?
Sure. Like tortoise shell looking, the actual ones that he wore in the movie. I'm like, oh my God. So finally I'm like, hey, Rick, I'm like, are those, I pronounced it Varnet at first because that's how it's written, but I was corrected. They're Varniers. He's like,
off to a good start.
First thing he says to me, doesn't even say yes. He just goes, these are the dudes. I was like, I fucking love this guy.
Did you fondle him?
I did. I might have cuffed his balls real quick. So he's like, oh, here, Gino, try them on. I'm like, oh, I looked at Danielle. I'm like, I think I might have to make an investment for next March 6th. And she's like, yeah, you're not doing that.
Oh, she kiboshed it immediately?
They're quite expensive.
How much are they?
$300.
That's how much all sunglasses are.
Mine are 25, Todd.
Then they're not sunglasses. They're darkly colored plastic.
They're very good. They're good sunglasses. But either way, I'm like, I'm like, these are fucking nice. I gave them back to him while so we started talking about the dude. I show him all the pictures from the day of the dude. And we're sitting there and he's like, hey man, he's like, you know what? He's like, send me your address.
I'm going to buy you a pair.
I'm like, well, why? He's like,
what the fuck?
I'm going to end the show. If he says he's going to fucking send you some
he's going to pimp you out, Cory.
He's
Send those glasses back as soon as they arrive. He's pimping you out.
You can't get all of your dude fucking accessories for free.
Yeah, let me send you the glasses then.
He goes, I have a pair at home that the dog got a hold of one of the arms and punctured one of the arms. And he's like, I don't, he's like, after that, I was done with him. He's got threw him in a drawer and they've been sitting there ever since. He's like, as a matter of fact, he's like, I was about to throw them out this morning. He's like, so if you want them, he's like, there's nothing. He's like, they're still wearable. He's like, it's just me personally. I'm like, I'm the same way. Like if that would happen to mine, I would have got rid of them too.
But you're going to wear some other dude's dog chewed glasses?
Fuck yeah, I will.
But you just said if it happened to you, you would have thrown them away.
This is crazy.
Yeah, but I'm not going to turn down if he's willing to send me a pair of $300 glasses because the dog bit the arm, I'm going to graciously take those.
But if your own dog bit the arm of your new glasses, you would throw them in the trash?
Nah, not if they were the Varniers, not $300 pair. I'd muster through that.
Okay,
I'd get through that. But
all right,
$25 pair. Yeah, I'll get a new set. But yeah, so he's like, yeah, I'll ship them over to you.
You know, I say, or do they sell them on Amazon?
They do for $300.
Okay, so you buy it on Amazon, you put those in the box and send them back.
Yeah.
Then you have a nice.
That'll happen to you.
Hopefully, no one from Amazon's listening.
No one's listening.
Yeah, it's a great part about this podcast. We could talk about all sorts of illegal shit. No one is ever going to know.
We're all indicted on federal charges tomorrow.
All of us? Why would all of us?
I'm like,
whoa, at some point.
Dastardly cross-country plot to defraud Amazon.
See here, you're
wire fraud.
I see here you're guilty of mentioning a potential crime to your friend. Years in jail.
That's right. That's how it goes now. So yeah, like again, Rick, if you're listening, thank you, buddy. Looking forward to the sunglasses. And
right now, Rick's listening. He's like, I could do that with Amazon too. You know what, Cory?
No,
it's nice to have a backup pair.
he said too. He's like he contacted Vernier, and since it was just damage from his dog, they're like, yeah, we're not fixing those. Because apparently, if you break them or crack them, they'll fix them and send them back to you.
Yeah, I'll show you, Vernier.
Manufacturer's defect.
He should have just stomped on him immediately and never said anything.
No, it's got to be a manufacturer's defect if they.
All right, we got a shot sitting in front of us.
Todd, what are you drinking?
I'm not doing a shot. I got to work early tomorrow morning.
Wow.
On making it up to Mary, is that your job tomorrow morning?
Of course.
Job for the next 3 months. back to Apple Mai Tai we go.
If you have something, join us for a shot. Coffee, water, preferably liquor. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute.
Woo.
I took a shot of beer for you, Bob.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's super sweet, man.
Thank you.
That
Todd's gesture, I thought it was nice.
it was also good. It's probably late, but yeah, I don't know how you drink that, like shot after shot after shot.
What
It's
is
real sweet.
Pink Whitney.
Pink
Oh,
Whitney.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that sweet.
Or sour.
More yeah, sour and tart to me.
Yeah. Okay. I stand corrected. It's tart.
Well, I said when we were golfing, you're like, oh, I love this. You're like, I'd have it all the time. That's literally what you said.
Damn it, Bob.
I was golfing. A totally different story.
Make up your mind.
I think
That's when you stretch the truth. I had
It's
a
a different
300-yard
ambiance.
9-iron over a tree.
Todd. Speaking of which, Bob and I have played our fair share of golf in the past.
Yeah.
Historically, Bob has always outdriven me. He swings like a madman.
Yeah.
And normally can crush the ball pretty well.
Yeah.
I will say this last couple Mondays we went out, every single hole, I outdrove Bob.
Yeah. I thought maybe he had like a friend standing in the trees, just throwing
it out there.
golf balls. Yeah.
And that's 90-second sports. Thank you, everybody. Moving on to the next segment.
By a solid 20 yards.
Wow.
Yeah.
90-second sports is over, Cory.
I cannot deny it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe maybe your balls going into that jar on the mantle since you got married has increased your pivot potential, and so you're actually getting through the ball.
Do you think it's something?
Maybe.
Do you think it's something because you've got like more mass behind you when you swing the club? It's going further. You think? You're lower to the ground.
I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be very nice.
It's lower to the ground, isn't he?
You're never
Because if we were to step on scales right now, I can tell you who has more mass.
Oh yeah, 100%. In fact, I should have been crushing the ball like way harder than I was. Yeah, but it was a good time. But yeah, he absolutely every hole. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
First time in us golfing together history.
Yep.
I was very excited.
Yep, it was around for the ages.
So.
Did you happen to take pictures of any of those drives?
I didn't even think about that.
GoPro, set up the GoPro. Yeah, what's going on with the GoPro these days?
Are you going to replace that?
It's been replaced.
It's been replaced, but
you don't take it every
yeah. What happened to the making box mac and cheese fast forward videos? And
yeah,
I'm trying to get back to it. It's busy with other shit.
Okay,
but you could be GoProing this other shit. Here's me cutting the grass in fast motion.
Sometimes just setting up everything to get videos of that takes a lot longer than the actual.
You have a chest mount.
Yeah, it's still a lot to put together.
You just put it on.
Not that simple, buddy.
What else you got to do?
Boy,
Not that
GT's
simple.
making excuses.
Press the record button. Make sure it's charged.
but he's also got to parade around in front of his neighbors there with this camera on his chest while he's
He
mowing
doesn't
the lawn.
care. He's probably one of those guys that fucking cuts the grass with his shirt off.
Why would you have a shirt on? Like that?
Exactly.
Sounds pretty dumb.
All right, let's go into gentleman's agreement.
Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Oh, gentlemen's agreement. Oh, it's the motherfucking gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's.
All right, Todd Dillon, do you want to
Yes, sir.
kick it off for us, please? You had to watch Don't Breathe
Shameless.
from Nick. What?
Oh fuck! Here we
Are
go.
you serious?
He assigned me Sweet Tooth.
Wow, that is not at all what he assigned you.
Nick?
Yes. I don't think that's been updated.
Okay, so wait, sorry, did you was I not here for that episode?
Yeah,
No.
I will say I did have Sweet Tooth up on my Google
Okay.
search. So
Todd, you already watched Don't Breathe?
I don't remember.
So I do remember.
Right.
Okay, so I think this is the thing. I think I couldn't think of anything, and at the last minute, I gave him "Don't Breathe." But then I had a reminder in my phone that said Todd's movie, and so I was like, "Hey, have you seen the second season of Sweet Tooth yet? Watch that." So maybe we both forgot, but I do remember telling him "Don't Breathe" because Yeah, so that's good though, because we can save that for the next time. So take Don't Breathe out, put Sweet Tooth in.
I watched Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
I'd not seen any of it.
Okay.
You haven't seen any of what?
Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, you did. You watched part of the first season, right?
No.
Oh, so I thought you had seen it. I thought I had assigned it to you before.
Nope.
Season 1. Okay, go ahead.
No, so
go right ahead then, Todd.
yeah, so I watched Sweet Tooth, and I think I'm giving it a solid B+. I thought it was going to suck at first when I saw like kind of mutant babies with tails and whatnot looking like squirrels and chipmunks and whatnot. And I'm thinking, this is kind of crazy, but I was able to suspend disbelief and kind of get into the fact that we people treat people that are different than us in bad ways. And so I actually bought into the script. It had a little bit of Lord of the Rings, kind of all the what's the new show today with The Last of Us. It's got a lot of all that all wrapped into one. So I actually am enjoying it. Solid B+.
All right. Yeah, man. It was something that I stumbled upon, and I was like, God, this looks fucking stupid. And I was just like in a veg mode, and I started watching it, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, there are moments that I got a little teary-eyed in some of the scenes. I'm like, this is actually a pretty good show.
It's really well done.
Yep.
All right.
And that was Sweet Tooth, right?
Yeah, Sweet Tooth.
Okay.
All right. Cory, you had, I think you had Chimp Empire.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Who assigned that to you?
Nick.
Okay.
I couldn't think of anything. I remember I was like, take this.
I'm a fan of documentaries, as you guys all know.
But
a big fan of documentaries.
Yeah.
it's more of a National Geographic kind of thing. Than
Did this one swear you off of documentaries forever?
Buddy.
What was wrong with it?
I love you, man. But it was just sleepy time.
Oh, you don't watch any of the National Geographic
No.
stuff?
I mean, if it's something
it's not
that like
a documentary.
if it's something that like really piques my interest, I will.
Yeah.
But
I told you, I said I can't think of anything. I said, just so you know, you can just keep it on in the background and do other things.
yeah, dude, I got it. I think like 20 minutes in, and I couldn't even keep my eyes open.
It was like the Richard Attenborough kind of, or David Attenborough kind of animal documentary, basically. Not documentary, but animal series like they do on National Geographic. So, you know, someone with a British accent, lightly talking,
very light, slow talking,
and lots of chimpanzees.
Yeah.
See, I grew up with my dad and my grandfather. You know, my grandpa raised bobcats and was a naturalist. Yeah,
there you go.
And and so we grew up watching that kind of stuff all the time. So it interests me. But yeah, I didn't know if you would.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I would easily watch Turkey Hunters 2.
So let everyone know what that is.
It was this old VHS that we found up at Nick's cabin that Joe and I put in one night, and it was literally guys just sitting out in blinds, just waiting for turkeys to show up, and then they would shoot them, and then they would show the turkey off. That was literally it.
I watched a lot.
All they were doing.
You know how many hunting shows on Saturdays? I'd be laying with my dad watching hunting shows like all the time.
At one point, there was 15 minutes straight of literally a guy just sitting in his blind, holding up his shotgun, and every once in a while he was like, "All right, so we're still waiting on some to show up."
I just remember you and Joe. You kept talking about turkey hunters, and
it was everything that someone who's never watched a hunting video thinks a hunting video.
Exactly.
But it did not disappoint.
Didn't you say like? Didn't you watch like one or something, and you're like, "There's a 2."
It's like Turkey Hunters 2, The Quickening, or
because I think we
Turkey Hunters 2, Judgment Day. Because
I think we looked it up on Amazon if we could purchase it, and there was Turkey Hunters 2 available. I said I think I would rather watch that over
chimpanzees.
Chimp Empire. Yeah. I mean, dude, everything was shot very well. Like it was very crisp pictures. And,
shit?
No, man, they didn't. I was kind of upset about that.
No what?
No fighting, the wars, the chimp wars.
Are we still talking about turkey hunters?
No, there was fighting. One of the rival tribes ended up killing a chimp, but he didn't get that far because he only got 20 minutes.
I was going to say there probably was, but I could not make it that far.
Well, now you know how I feel having to watch fucking Caddyshack.
No, that's not the case.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure that equals,
Yes, it does.
No, dude. Sorry.
Well, because it's me and you guys happen to like that. This is something that I didn't care for. This is something he didn't care for.
well, I guess when you put it that way,
Yeah.
they're exactly the same.
They're exactly as far as our reaction to something we didn't like. Yeah, they're exactly the same. Because I was like, really? Can we see this stuffed animal fucking woodchuck walk around again?
Gopher?
I feel like the odds of you being able to produce a significant number of people to take your side on Chip Umpire,
I don't need
would
anyone
be
to take my side.
far dwarfed by the number of people we could have that think your opinion of Caddyshack is ridiculous.
I don't care.
I mean, Netflix put it out there, so apparently it was wanted by someone.
Yeah.
No, and again, like I'm not saying it was bad by any means. Like I'm sure if I could have got further into it, like it was probably very informative.
I'm not saying it's bad. If I could have made it for 13 more
If it was
minutes,
good
I'm sure
enough
it'd
for me
been
to
good.
watch,
But I
I'm sure it
fell
would have been
asleep.
amazing.
Listen,
It was like elevator music. That's
maybe it, and rightfully said, but same other side of the coin for me. Same thing. Like, hey, had I been in the 80s, breathing in the Aquanet, all in the air, being high on Aquanet, and having chains hanging from my fucking, maybe the slapstick style fucking stuffed animals running around a golf course would have been hysterical.
there was one gopher.
Yeah, maybe it would have been hysterical, but it
And
didn't
she
age
showed up
well.
like 3 times.
Didn't age well.
Yeah. It was in the movie for approximately like 4 minutes.
Well, not even that.
Didn't age well.
All right, fair enough. Everyone's
He is
entitled to their
latched
own
onto that
opinion.
gopher.
Yeah. That's all he saw that entire
Because
movie.
I couldn't get past it. I'm like, I can't
Feel
get
like
past
do you have nightmares about that gopher?
it. No, thankfully.
Gopher.
Ty Webb's out there saying all these hilarious things, and Nick's like, "Where the fuck is that gopher on that golf course?"
He's under the ground, under his feet. I'm sure of it.
He could be right underneath him right now.
You never know when a stuffed animal fucking puppet gopher is gonna
Pop up.
come up from under your feet.
So yeah, like I said, it wasn't bad. It was just put me right to sleep.
Jason, Caddyshack is the shit. Awesome. Music notes. I'm all right. That was also stupid. That stupid ass fucking music.
Are you kidding?
Kenny
Music
Loggins?
was- That
Use
song
that.
went to #1 on the charts simply because of that movie.
I know. And guess where it went on my charts because of that movie?
Oh, you loved it before, and now you saw it in the movie, and
I wouldn't have minded it before, but it left a bad taste in my mouth like vanilla vodka.
Caddyshack has tainted his view
God.
of Kenny Loggins.
Honestly, the thing that really astounds me the most is that there are so many quotable lines in that movie
That's great. Let's talk about them
that he didn't mention any of them as being remotely funny. It was just all about the
Because
gopher.
his suspension of disbelief got jarred right when he saw the gopher.
By the
all.
gopher.
Yeah, dude. It was
Yeah.
I get it.
slapstick, goofy
I get it.
comedy. I'm like, no, this is ridiculous. This is like fucking an Adam Sandler movie from the 80s, basically.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. That kicked me right in the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Because you love Adam Sandler right now?
Dude, right now, I've always loved his
Oh,
movies.
Jesus.
Hasn't he assigned Pauly Shore movies to multiple people?
Which I made the mistake of
Adam
telling him.
Sandler is like Shakespeare compared to Pauly Shore.
I made the mistake. I made the mistake of telling him that I liked In the Army Now when it came out,
And he got Biodome.
and he decided to give me Biodome, which I almost
Which is still a
took
great
dull
fucking
knife. I almost took a dull knife and fucking took my brain out of my skull through my eye socket. Like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have the comments up either. I'm glad you mentioned that because
I'm not watching them either, but hopefully they're hilarious.
I've been keeping it going.
yeah, Todd's been picking up my slack.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
I had to watch Blue Mountain State, which I think was from you, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Solid B+. Really, really good show. I watched the first 3 episodes. I thought Denise Richards was supposed to be in this thing.
She is.
I don't recall seeing her at all in the first 3 episodes.
If you only watch the first 3...
Did she come in like the 2nd season or something?
No, maybe like the 6th episode of season 1.
Okay.
She doesn't have a huge role in it.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, no. Trust me, dude. 'cause
yeah.
I didn't even know she was in it, and I just started watching because I had always seen it on Netflix,
Right.
and so I just started watching it the one night because I had nothing else to watch, and I'm like, I got to the episode she was in, and I was like, that's not no. I'm like, she's in this B-roll fucking sitcom,
Yeah.
And sure enough, yeah, she's in like a couple episodes here and there.
Yeah.
Didn't she play Ross's cousin on Friends?
Are you asking me, Friends trivia?
Remember? You don't remember that episode?
I don't remember that specific episode, but
Okay.
I think if you know it to be true, I would absolutely.
I don't
take
know
it.
it. I think so.
Yeah, I couldn't say. I wouldn't be surprised, but
Yeah, no, yeah, she said I think she comes in like episode 5 or 6.
well, then I'm in it for at least another 3 or 4 episodes.
It was an episode. It was an episode where they
I'll be honest.
Ross kept staring at her. She's like, "This is my cousin. She's gonna be staying with us for a couple days." He's like, "Oh, okay." And she walked in the room and went like this and like let her hair down, and it went in slow motion and started playing that boom, no, 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 boom, 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 boom. And he's just like, "Oh, looks good on you." And he's like staring at her right, and she's like, "What?" So I think those are
Okay. That does sound like something she would do
yeah.
with the hair flip.
And Nick, I did not know you were a huge fan of Tom Cruise as well as Kenny Loggins.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Okay. Jason commented that.
This is telling us all about your life.
Yeah,
I guess.
He's
I was talking to him all day yesterday about Tom Cruise. He never mentioned it.
Right.
he's going pretty nuts in the comments.
Jason, the Tom Cruise thing was just between us.
No, and
He's
I
like-
honestly don't know how I never watched this show before. I mean, I knew it existed, but I just never.
Yeah, no, dude, same for me. Because like I said, I saw it around all the time. I remember seeing commercials for it.
Yeah.
And just never decided to watch it until just recently.
I got to it on Vudu, but I'm sure it's available elsewhere. Maybe without ads, but
Yeah, I can't even remember what I watched it on, to be honest with you.
okay.
Maybe, I think Tubi.
All right, well, this is not the Where We Watch Movies podcast, so
Word.
All right. So let's go. Since it's just the 3 of us here for new assignments, just go clockwise?
Why is there only 3 of us?
Because Nick didn't have a chance to watch his flick.
I watched half of mine,
Yeah, so we're gonna hold it till next week.
even though Cory watched 20 minutes and he's moving on, but that's okay.
Well, when I asked him if he watched it, he said yeah. So that's how he got. He passed the bar.
Yeah.
So
It's a very low bar.
yeah, well, that's true. So Todd's the TV. So Todd, you got Cory. Cory's got me. I got you.
All right. Hey, Cory, have you seen Kunk on Earth?
Hey, bless you.
Oh, I've heard of that show.
I'm sorry.
seen-
What?
Kunk on Earth.
Kunk on Earth? No, I have not.
CUNK.
There you go.
He was
Yep,
going to name his
CUNK.
kid Kunk.
Philomena Kunk
Okay,
Kunk Selesky.
on Netflix.
All right.
sounds good. Thank you, buddy.
What do you got for me, Cory?
I actually think I had something put aside for you, Bob. Let me scroll down here. You have McGregor Forever, sir.
Watched it already.
Fuck you.
Nice.
We could talk about that, but it's very
A
sports
searing
related.
backhand.
Todd,
What?
a real boss move would have been if you gave Cory Zebra Empire.
Zebra. Is there a Zebra Empire?
I don't think there is, but
I really want there to be. I want there to be so
The
bad.
cricket conundrum.
Yeah, we'll go through all the Animal Kingdom just assigning it to Cory. We're trying
All
to.
right. While he's looking that up, Todd, have you seen Watchmen?
Yes.
The movie or the TV show?
The series.
You have seen the series. Okay.
Yes.
How about Love, Death, and Robots?
No.
All right, that's on Netflix. That's what you got.
Love, Death, and Robots.
That's right.
Robots.
That is correct. All right, Cory. Down to you.
you, Bob, have, which I'm going to preface this by saying I'm definitely going to read it because this was originally for Todd, but
you.
it falls into your wheelhouse as well. The Dark Side of Football.
Okay. Where can I find that? Never mind. Doesn't matter. Dark Side of Football. Well, that's a Vice thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on Hulu though.
Got it. Okay. Excellent,
Sweet.
gentlemen. That's so let's bring that to a close and then move on to existential question.
All right.
While you're looking that up, I'm gonna go grab a shot.
All right. Sounds good. So we have our next installment of Nick's existential question of the week. This week, we're going to bring it back home. The question for this week is, if you had to rename your hometown, what would you call it and why? If you had to rename your hometown, what would you call it and why? Bob is getting us some libations here. I had a different topic that I'll tell you later.
Clarifying question.
Yes.
So hometown now or hometown like where you grew up?
Whatever's more convenient for you. Whatever town that you identify with more. Yeah. So I know you're originally from the Bronx. Like if you want to say, Bronx, New York, then.
Repeat the question, please.
If you had to rename your hometown, what would you rename it and why?
I think I have my answer.
Think so?
Yep. So I'm originally from Dearborn.
Yeah.
I think I would take it back to its original name of Springwells.
Oh. Okay.
Why?
It's the original name of the city. Like
it sounds
Yeah,
like
they didn't like it.
it sounds
They
like
named it after a rich. So they named it after a rich family.
No. Mr. Ford didn't like it, and when he came in and took over the city, he renamed it.
it sounds like the name of a city in like a movie.
Springwells, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe there's still a Springwells. There's a Springwells.
We used to live in Springwells Park Apartments.
Did you really?
Yeah.
And that was in
And-
Dearborn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, what year was the city of Dearborn renamed?
Oh, I'd have to look that up.
Like 1855 or something like that?
Yeah, Bob was around then.
I'm a Highlander, in case you didn't know. Cannot be killed. We got these shots.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Salute.
everybody.
Fireball and Pink Whitney.
Oh,
Wow. How about you, Todd?
I need some more time.
Okay. Bob, you got yours?
Fordopolis.
Fordopolis.
Are you playing Sim City?
I like the Opolis part of it, and I mean it's basically built by Henry Ford, so might as well throw his name.
Why do you like
in the name of
Opolis?
it.
Because he likes playing,
Metropolis?
he likes playing The Sims.
Seriously, that's
Oh, Superman. Metropolis.
okay.
Yeah, I feel like you're not a fan of that answer.
I mean, it sounds retarded, so no, I'm not a fan of it.
I think I win.
I got mine.
What do you got?
I was born in Milwaukee, so I would rename it to Monowak, its original Indian name.
Oh, that's cool.
Speaking of original things, guess who just entered the room?
Henry Ford.
Close, just a little bit under Henry Ford himself.
Denise Richards.
I wouldn't be here right now if that was the case.
Flipping her hair in slow-mo.
I'd be running trying to find her.
Hold on. So Denise Richards enters our podcast room, and your first thing is to run away from the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got to be close by in my mind somehow, some way. I know that makes no sense logically whatsoever.
Denise,
but to me it
my
does.
That's how the internet works.
Denise, my friend Cory would say hi right now. But
All of our
very excited.
listeners are very
You have
close
to
in
be-
proximity.
It's like a handheld radio. You have to be within so many miles in order to get all of the podcast.
Two tin cans and a string.
The one and
Phil
only
Ryder.
Dr. Phil Anton himself.
Oh my god!
Holy
He
shit.
walked in where?
pickles. Into the room in the chat session.
He says, "Oh great, you chuckers have returned.
Yeah.
So have
his worst nightmare.
So have you, Dr. Phil Anton."
Yeah.
He was probably just surfing around the web trying to find
who
some
is he?
porn to watch and happened to stumble upon the live feed.
No one really knows, Todd. No one really knows. He's a
We didn't get to you yet.
No, I don't think I have anything significant. I mean, other than on the nose and calling it, Baderville or something like that.
I think Fordopolis was way better than that.
If we could
I
only,
win.
if we could only go back in time right now and place a bet on what fucking Nick would name the city, I'd be fucking rich right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
No one
Baderville sounds
no one would
stupid.
have taken
so-
the other side of that bet.
Well, I mean, people that don't know him would have. Well, I think,
suppose.
but
Dang it,
Baden.
I want to change my answer.
Baden. Baden. Baden.
Why?
Is that well, yeah, why?
My family's actually originally from Baden, Germany.
Okay.
And
Now, hang on. Now we're going to get the whole history of the family. So
No,
Be
that's-
gay.
buckle up, everyone.
that was just it.
Now, I can see it inside you. You're itching right now to tell that story.
No.
Well, let's move on to Todd because Todd wanted to change his
Yes.
answer.
Actually, they're from Newmark or Silesia,
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
which was Prussia at the time. Since you asked.
No, I don't
Just-
think I asked.
nobody
I don't
asked.
think I asked.
Just so you guys are aware, I
Prince of Prussia?
Listen, I had penance. I did my penance tonight. Okay.
Listen.
I did my penance tonight. My dad loves to talk, and I like to talk, but nothing compares to my brother. And that is the one thing that shuts both me and my dad down. He did not stop talking from the second we got to the restaurant to the second we left, to the point where my dad's going, Nick, I think this part of the story is about you. Greg, make sure Nick's paying attention. I go, shut up, don't touch me. And he just
What is the seating chart situation with you and your brother and your dad?
Since I was born, it is always my dad in the middle of the two of us, so we don't kill each other.
Okay, so if you put someone else in between your dad and your brother, then when he starts going, then you and your dad could just look at each other and start having a separate, different, completely unrelated conversation.
My dad won't do that though. He shuts down.
You guys all sit on the same side of the table?
No,
The old hands?
Well, how would your dad be in between you guys?
because he was sitting at the head of the table. It was his Father's Day thing, so he was like sitting at the end. Greg was there. I was here. Yeah.
The long table? Like Knights of the Round Table?
Oh yeah, it was a king's table for sure.
There you go.
Because in Baden,
Badentown.
I can tell you guys more. I can tell you,
Badenstadt.
obviously, you're interested. So
On Badenstrasse.
All right, Todd, you said you were going to change your answer. I want to know what
Yep.
that is.
Gotham.
See? I love it. I love it.
original Todd.
We're staying in the DC universe. We've hit Superman and Batman.
didn't you also say you were renaming him Black Man?
Black man.
No.
Who's the you? Are you talking to Todd?
Todd.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
I thought he said that like as an off comment one time when he was talking about Batman.
No, Blackula. Not Black man.
Oh yeah. And
This
isn't
dude would have been arrested on the first freaking vigilante act.
Todd isn't he Todd isn't he Batman?
His Batman. Just like I was a Wiseman in the.
Wiseman. It's not a last name. It's a Spider-Man. It's not like Phil Spiderman.
But it should be.
It
It
is
absolutely
Spider-Man.
should be. Did you say you had another question you were gonna ask or considering?
No.
No, you didn't.
That is an off the mic question.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. Okay. So guys, if you how can I ask this?
Just say it. Just say it.
So I was changing topics, officially jumping from that to something else. Went with Jack and Lori and her son out to see the Dead and Company in Chicago this past weekend.
Is that an event where people normally take small children? To
Yeah,
the
he
Grateful Dead?
He was not the smallest. There were babies there.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Grateful Dead babies.
Some sort of,
Is
cross.
it because the band is so old that
that entire kingdoms have risen and fallen in the times since they started the show?
Yeah.
Possibly. There were pregnant women there. There were young, very young
Pregnant women at a Grateful Dead show.
Yeah, absolutely. And the
Tickets
wafting
for kind.
the wafting clouds of weed smoke were something to behold. But Griffin never said a word about that.
Sounds like
anybody.
great parents.
So, I was on my way out to the bathroom. I jumped. We were on the second deck. Jumped over the railing on the concourse. Start walking to the bathroom. And as I'm walking, there's a guy in front of me who works at Wrigley Field, which is where we saw the show. and someone passed us coming back the other way and tapped him, and he's like, "Hey, they need medical attention in
Don't fucking touch me.
218."
To you?
No, to the guy in front of me
Oh,
who
okay.
works.
I got this.
That's what I was thinking. Holy shit! They picked the wrong guy.
So I'm like, "Oh, we're heading that way. Like, this will be interesting." So as soon as we pass the stairs coming up from 218, there's four guys who are carrying this like frat boy looking kid. Each one has a leg or an arm, and they're carrying him up the stairs, and he's just like ragdoll, right? So they bring him up onto the concourse, and they just like deposit him right down on the concrete.
If you say you looked up at the sun and saw your dad,
No.
Okay, good.
No, so up the stairs behind them comes a girl and another guy following them, and she is like, oh my God, Jeremy, you should never have taken that. We need help. We need an ambulance. We need a medic here." And they're calling like, "The medic's on the way." And the guy who was was walking right next to her kept trying to tell her, like, he's fine. And she's like, "Fuck you, Todd. He's not fine. He clearly took way too much of that stuff."
Fuck me.
Yeah, I don't know how you got pulled.
His name was Todd. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
And so
Frat boy Todd.
yeah, so the guy's on the ground, and the girl's freaking out. His friend Todd is telling her, like, "Relax, Ashley. Everything's cool." She's like, "Fuck you, Todd. It's not cool." And
Bitch, you're still telling Todd, what the fuck's going on?
Could you
Todd's
pick
not regulating.
Could you pick whiter names than
Like,
Ashley and
it's
Todd?
a Grateful Dead show. So the medic shows up with a wheelchair, and right when he shows up, the frat boy like pops up off the ground. And he's like, "I'm okay."
Good to go.
And they're like, "What?"
Bob, acting.
And you might as well be like, "Acting." He's like, "I'm all
And
right."
scene.
He's like, "Where's my beer?" Like, he just popped out of it, and Ashley starts breaking down in tears.
That ecstasy wore off quick.
And so now she's got her face buried in Jeremy's chest, and they're standing over by the railing. And I'm like, there's something may be happening here between these two now that the guy's buried in Todd's chest.
Oh, and Todd. I was gonna
Todd's
say.
chest, right?
Yeah, okay.
Now that Jeremy's popped up off the
Ashley,
ground.
Jeremy's in my chest or Ashley?
No. Ashley's got her
Right on your
face
chest.
buried. Yep,
And Jeremy's in
she's
your
bawling.
Jeremy's in your crotch.
Just grabbing those.
After she told me to fuck off?
Yes, after she told you to fuck off.
Ashley said, "I never ever buried my face in a man's chest before that had such wonderful dinner plate nipples."
And Ashley looked up lovingly into your eyes, Todd, and said, "Be here, hold me. I'm so glad that you're here for me. I feel something for you. I've never felt before."
suckle on your teeth.
So,
Bitch, please.
so while this is going on, some other dude, completely unrelated,
Not Jeremy or
nope,
Todd?
No, unrelated dude, old grizzled
Kip.
deadhead, jumps into the wheelchair.
Biff.
And he starts yelling to the medic. He's like, "Something's going on, man. I don't feel good. I need this chair. I need help."
Well, isn't that fortuitous?
And they're like, "Excuse me, sir." And they're still trying to figure out, like, they came for this other kid who's now popped up and saying he's fine.
He's been resurrected from the
So they
Grateful
don't
Dead.
quite know what to do. So now they're trying to get this other guy out of the wheelchair and like throw him out, but he refuses. He's like latching on to the armrest. He's like, "I don't know what's going on. I need help." So at this point, I'm like, I just need to go to the bathroom.
You didn't stick around to figure out what happened in the
So I walked to the bathroom. On my way back, Jeremy and Todd and Ashley are gone, but the guy who's in the wheelchair, now they have oxygen mask over his face, and he is splayed out with limbs like all stretched in like impossible directions, and he is clearly like completely out of it. And they're trying to like make sure he's still responsive, and they keep, his limbs just keep on like spontaneously moving in different directions. They're trying to get him in the wheelchair so they can start going toward the ambulance or wherever they're going to take him.
So he knew he needed attention.
He totally did. I don't know if he knew where he was, but I think he just saw a wheelchair. He's like, "That's what I need. I need medical attention, and I'm staying in this chair until I get it."
Fuck you, Todd. Fuck you, Jeremy.
Fuck me again.
Yeah.
So Jason made a comment on this story, and
Yeah.
I'll say, Jason, you are correct. Hey, don't look at the comment. You're correct. Bob's actually been there.
Where?
No, don't look at the comment.
I'm looking at the comment now.
I don't even see it.
No, it's all good fun. Nah, that's fair.
Come on, come on the podcast, Jason. We'll tell you a story about Bob.
Yeah. So yeah, that guy, they wheeled him down right past I followed him because they're cutting through the crowd real quick. Followed him back to. So
you were drafting.
I'm drafting behind him, and I got back to my section and jumped over the railing, and I'm back in my seat.
Bob was like, "Where's another wheelchair? I need to get in one of these."
But he looked like bad. Like I don't know what he was on, but they couldn't keep his legs. What do they call them? They don't not
stirrups.
The stirrups. Okay.
Yeah.
They couldn't keep both his feet in the stirrups. They kept like slipping. They would slip over here and slip over there, and the wheelchair would just like jerk that way. And they're like, "Come on, sir." There's like 4 or 5 people trying to keep him in the wheelchair while they're going down the.
Dude, all that guy needed.
Yeah.
All he needed was a good sternum rub, and I guarantee he would have came right out of whatever he was in.
Yeah.
Corey.
Yes.
Corey, the medics bypassed Jeremy. Oh my God! Hold on, sir. You look absolutely awful. Are you okay? Do you know what day it is? Oh, it's not for you. Oh, it's not the medic's not for you. Oh, he's over here on the ground.
I'm okay. Where's my beer?
Yeah, they could have got him out of that real quick.
Yeah. I have never been to a show like that where there were, I mean, obviously, weed is now legal, but you still can't go into like a baseball stadium.
Alcohol is legal too now.
You still can't go into a baseball stadium and, light up a cigarette and start puffing away in your chair in a baseball stadium, right? You could do it on the street, but you can't.
Can't you do it in the bleachers?
No, I mean, there were people in Wrigley who were like in line to buy beer from the staff, at the stations, literally puffing on joints. I've never seen such flagrant disregard.
Yeah, I mean,
no one cared.
Like, I mean, look at even like the Flaming Lips concerts we've been to.
Yeah,
I mean, it's everywhere.
But it's all inside the crowd, right? You're just seeing like a puff of like a big cloud of smoke coming from the crowd, but those same people at that Lips show that we went to never would have gone back to the bar and been like, "Can I get a Bud Light?" Right at the bar.
You sound like a very old dude, Bob. Why are you policing everybody at this class?
I'm not policing. I was just
feels like you are. Why are you hating?
Does it? I'm not hating.
Why are you hating on these people?
I was amazed. I wasn't like, and that's why I don't go to shows anymore.
I was going to say that's the low bar drug, isn't it? I remember dead shows are always about the mushrooms, right?
I was going to say it sounds like those guys. It wasn't weed. That was something a little more than weed.
Yeah. No, I was just beer for me that night. That's all I had. It was I wanted to enjoy the show, and Griffin was there, and plus the last Dead show that Jack and I had been to, I ended up taking a hit off of somebody else's.
Oh,
which
no.
Set me to the moon, and I'm like, I don't need to do that again.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
All I gotta say is Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, and Jimmy Buffett. Right. So I've learned my lesson.
We didn't even make it to the concert.
I learned my lesson. But yeah, it was a good show.
Was that the concert you were trying to fish your lost keys off from underneath that car?
Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
There were no keys there because Bob didn't even drive.
Amongst other things. Yeah. Yeah, no, my good friends took care of me.
Glasses, keys, his soul.
But it's one of those things where they took care of me, but they've never let me forget it.
And we never will.
Yeah. So it's the gift that keeps on giving.
That's right. I agree, Todd. I agree.
Todd, I'm sure you've been to a show like that. A show where, maybe things got a little out of hand.
Nope.
That was a very quick no, sir.
It was. In fact,
Todd,
the one time I was supposed to get out of hand was at a Dead show, but bought mushrooms from a brother man, and I think that brother sold me some shiitakes. that he first rubbed on his asshole so that they fucking tasted like dog shit, and then freaking I sat there and watched the shittiest show of my life, and Jerry was still alive.
With some moldy button mushrooms.
It was, exactly. I was an angry, not very high black guy.
Todd, did you ever hear the after kayaking story where Bob almost died?
No.
So there's a lot, and there's some listeners that haven't heard the story.
There's a lot of ins and outs, what have you.
Yeah. So Bob
Strikes and gutters.
We decided last year it was literally the 4th of July, and we decided we want to go kayaking because people don't go out and do things like kayaking on the 4th of July because we're a bunch of fucking idiots. So we decided to go to one of the most popular spots around here, Argo Rapids, for the first time. and there was a shit ton of fucking people, of course. And the morning of, Bob called me and said, hey, man, I felt like I had a cold last night. I know this whole routine. We have COVID, tests and stuff. He's like, I tested myself. I'm positive for COVID. And I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, all right, well,
Not going to stand in our way of a good time.
Yeah, it's up to you what you want. I said, so you're going to have to probably take it easy. And he's like, oh, no, I feel fine. I feel fine. I'm going to be okay. We're in separate canoes or kayaks. We're not going to be near each other. We're going to be outside. So I'm fine. Okay. So it's blisteringly hot. We go kayaking. And it's the first time we ever done this. So we're like, we don't know how long the trek is or whatever. So we get to this point that is no longer river. It's like basically you're kayaking in a giant swamp or pond. Like it was huge. It was very open like a lake, but there was lots of like lily pads and areas that are just not river-like. And so the wind was like whipping against us, and we had a lot of kind of time to pick up, at the tail end of it. So I remember Bob kept asking me, he's like, how much longer? How much longer? I'm like, I don't know. I love that you always appeal to my infinite wisdom about places I've never been, but I don't fucking know. It says, and I'm looking on my Google Maps, like, well, this much longer. So he's like, all right. So he really, one of Bob's things is if he's not feeling well and we're kayaking or like has to go to the bathroom, he really digs in. Like if he's ready for the trip to be over.
I was going to say that was going to be my quick interjection.
Question.
Yes,
What's
Todd.
that?
Why didn't he stay his sick ass at home?
I don't know.
Lily.
We told him to.
Hindsight's 2020.
He's a super spreader. So so he really, like, if he realizes the trip's done or something's wrong.
Yeah, when Bob's ready to go, he's ready to go. So he starts getting paddly.
Digs the fuck in. And so he just gets real paddly. And so we finally get to the end of this waterway because there was a dam in front. We could not go any further, and they had like a boat launch, a cement boat launch. And so he gets out of his kayak. We're all laughing about stuff and everything, and he gets out of his kayak and just like does a controlled fall to the cement boat ramp and just puts his face against the cement, arms spread eagle like he's doing a reverse snow angel. And I'm like, everything okay? And he's like, I don't feel good. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, heat stroke. Of course, you're concerned about people that age. Being out in the sun that long.
Shit.
Yeah,
old fucker.
But he was he was in bad shape. He had a respiratory virus that has killed many people, and he thought it would be a good idea to go kayaking. So, anyhow, we saw the look on his face that there was some exigence to take place, because we initially were going to drive the girls back to the car and made a battlefield decision that Bob needed some medical attention, at least some air conditioning at the time. So we said, why don't Cory and I take Bob? Cory and I will each grab a car. Bob, we can just take you to your car and you can just like lay down, So Bob's in the back. I got a shit ton of like kayaking stuff like in the back, and he immediately lays on top of like like chairs and stuff, like very uncomfortable things. He lays on, but refuses to get into my car without putting a mask on. So he's got this mask.
What?
The car.
I had COVID.
The car is
and couldn't currently breathe.
Yeah, I thought about my friends. I don't want to expose them to
the car was like
you did.
The car was like 90 degrees from sitting for 6 hours. So we get in, I'm letting the air in and cranking the air up, but it's still taking a second, And he is uncomfortably like on top of all this crap in the back seat. So Cory and I are driving, and we get to this point where it's not like a major road, but it's a decently busy road, and there's a bunch of roundabouts. So like it's not like a subdivision street you can just pull over. So all of a sudden Cory says something about Bob and like commented to him. He didn't say anything, so Cory turns around. Bob's eyes are closed, and he says, Bob, blah, 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 blah. Bob says something that would require Bob to respond. Bob does not respond. So then I turn around. I said, Bob, whatever. No response. Finally, I turn around. I'm like, Bob, seriously, are you all right? Everything okay? No response. No response. Mouth agape. Eyes closed.
Which, well, you couldn't tell at the time because he had a mask on still.
Yeah. But
we both told him, we're like, dude, take the mask off so you can breathe.
Yeah.
Nick and I are fine.
He wouldn't take it off. But he wouldn't respond. He was completely unresponsive. So I said, Bob, if you do not respond, I'm turning around. There is a hospital a mile away. I'm taking you to the hospital. No response. So
did you tell him you'd put your dirty fingers in his mouth?
No. So I said, all right, we're turning around to go to the hospital.
Then you guys skipped over all manner of things to make sure he was okay.
And so I said, all right. I said,
I was going to treat it like a dog that clamped down in your arm. You just stick your finger in his butthole and let's go.
Exactly. That's that's the go-to, dude.
Always goes to the rear end with Cory.
Exactly.
So I started to turn around to go to the hospital, and he's like, pull over. And that's all he could get out. And so I'm like, oh, fuck. He's going to be sick. So, like, we pull over.
Get out of my car.
My car.
We pull over in a roundabout.
The fuck you are. Get out.
Good spot to drop the dead body.
We pull over in a roundabout, and he gets out of the car and just slinks right down to the grass, like the grass alongside the road, and just face down on the grass, not saying anything. So Cory's like, Bob, and he's like hitting him and stuff like that. Cory ends up getting into an argument with this unconscious man, telling him that he's a fucking idiot because he's laying on his stomach and that's why he can't breathe. So he said, fuck
No,
it.
Guys are always about that. They got that Napoleon complex.
Oh, I guess you should have been there then, huh, Todd? So I wasn't getting upset. I was first of all, he already couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
It wasn't the fact that he was laying on his face that I thought he couldn't breathe. I just knew
mask.
that, well, because he had already taken the mask off at that point.
Yeah, we ripped the mask off of him.
I'm like, if you're already having trouble breathing, you laying on your stomach is not going to help a single fucking thing.
I ran around my truck because I thought ice cold towel. And so I grabbed a towel that had not been used. We had a cooler full of ice water, and I just plunged it right down in and was running back. And while this was going on, I heard Cory like, yeah, you breathe. No, you can't fucking breathe because you're laying on your fucking stomach. And I'm like, I don't think now's the time, but it's a valid point. So Cory gets him to roll over. And
when he rolled over, he immediately reached up and grabbed my shoulder. And just with this big smile on his face.
Well, that's what it was. So I came and put the wet towel around his head, and he started coming to. And then he reached up. Go ahead. Yeah.
And he just tapped
Why
my
did
shoulder.
you guys do that before you even put him in the car?
He was fine.
Hindsight's 20/20, my friend.
Oh my God, you guys are dumbasses. I'm like, I'd have fucking had 6 of those cubes up his asshole. He'd have been Bob. I'd have saved you. And from now on, if he's being obstinate, you just say scroll on Todd's behalf. And you tell him what you want him to do.
A whole lot of ass play if Todd was on this.
Todd, well, Cory and Todd. Todd, he was like, I'm not feeling very well. And he was like a walking wounded. So we triaged him as such. No, he was not completely unresponsive.
Bah.
So
you guys wussed out, and he made bad decisions from start to finish.
So
horrible.
So Cory is very, very much like, hey, very correct in the sense that when Bob turned over, he finally opened his eyes and looked at us and smiled. And I said, how do you feel? He said, I feel great.
Yeah, he looked at me, he's like, I'm fine.
And that didn't make any sense. Like,
I'm okay.
A person
Where's my beer?
A person that has gone unconscious. Like, the first thing you don't expect to see is a smile and I feel great. I assumed it was sarcasm. So, that being said, Cory and Bob both don't have their father. They're not alive, and so Bob, tell the rest of what happened.
Oh Jesus! I just.
He didn't tell us any of this for like a month.
I just felt the presence of my dad right there, like very, very clearly. I mean, I wasn't thinking clearly at the moment, so clearly it wasn't clear, but to me it felt really clear. Just kind of saying like, hey, just breathe, everything will be okay. I love you.
Didn't you say he touched your shoulder?
I think you did.
Yeah.
Which may have been why I touched your shoulder.
Probably.
I don't know. Maybe I thought I was touching his shoulder, but it was actually yours. I don't know.
I remember you said, I felt really warm, and I was looking up at the sun, and I saw my dad walk up to me, and he put his hand on my shoulder and was then reassuring you.
I should have had you tell this right from the beginning. I don't know why you dished it over to me.
Unbeknownst to Bob, that was
That's
just
what you
that was
told
just
me.
that was
Is that
just
not
me.
true? Isn't that what you told me?
No, I believe that's what I told you. Yeah, but as far as it was really Cory. Block you out the sun. I told you shouldn't have fucking laid in your stomach. Roll over, bitch.
The lead into this is horrible, Nick. I blame you because I wouldn't have been talking about sticking ice cubes up Bob's ass if you told me that you saw his dad.
Dude, he said...
Because if he did, that would be really bad.
Todd,
That's a good point, Todd.
Todd, this was like... Yeah, but this is how you vet assholes, because if you're just situationally...
We can stop with the asshole talk
if
at
you're
any
just
point.
situationally a nice friend, then that's fine. But now we can tell that, you know, we wanted the true Todd to come out. But the funny thing is that we didn't. He knows, like, Cory and I are. Cory loves spooky shit, spirits, all that stuff. I'm all into that stuff, you know, and Bob is one of our friends that doesn't believe in any of that. He's like staunch. Like, I do not. He
told Gina one time she could go fuck herself.
Yeah, he's like, there are no ghosts.
I never said
there are no spirits.
Hold on, for the record.
He's a man.
I never said that.
He's a man of science. I think that was the night you gouged Cory's chair. Go fuck yourself, Gina. But
No, never said that.
so he tells us this 2 months later, and I'm like, you idiot. Why wouldn't you tell us this? I would have loved to have heard that. And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, you saw your dad, who is not on this earth. And I mean, that is amazing. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. And I'm like, so the question is, what do you believe now? He said, I believe something happened, and I'm not quite sure what it was.
Yeah.
Gina can still go fuck herself.
Wow.
Todd, I will say though, after
You
hearing
guys
this,
have a funny approach with trying to make sure you retain listeners.
Todd, I will say after this story and hearing your advice, anytime we go out kayaking now, I will have a Ziploc bag filled with ice cubes in the cooler just for assholes.
Asshole ice.
Asshole cubes.
Whoa! You guys didn't open
cubes.
Ass cubes.
You guys didn't open the ass cubes, did you?
And Cory.
Yeah.
Cory, and a small bag of dog shit that you keep on ice as well for that first question. Hey, can you hear me? And then when you don't, just go, if you don't acknowledge this, I'm going to stick my dirty finger in your mouth and stick it in that dog shit bath. If he's freaking conscious, he'll freaking wake up.
How did we go from ass cubes is a very like, you could definitely tell the sentiment is real.
Yeah.
Like, you want to help. It's not really plausible, but you really want to help. I don't know how you went from there to sticking your finger in dog shit, I assume, and then threatening to put that in my mouth.
Because they wanted to see if you were really unconscious or not.
I'm a little
That
uncomfortable.
seems less helpful than the first time.
I'm a
It's
little
very helpful. It's not going to kill you.
I'm a little
Let you know.
uncomfortable. Let me just make this clear so there's no misconception. Please don't bring dog shit in a Ziploc bag and put it in my Yeti cooler when we go anywhere, because I'm going to be very upset.
Well, you're going to be more upset if you leave that under the car seat.
I thought it was carrot cake.
Oh, this bag looks really bloated on this
God
hot
damn
day.
you guys.
Who brought the gravy?
Todd, I will say too, we obviously need to write an email with suggestions to the medical staff at Wrigley Field for how they deal with people.
Yeah, apparently they just deal with people by whoever yells the loudest that they're sick.
They just need they need a bag. They need a bag of dog shit and some ass cubes on hand.
100%.
That'll knock those 70-year-olds that are hopped up on shrooms right out of it.
Wouldn't it be awesome if the word I was trying to work in today for the title was ass cubes?
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
That would.
Maybe it was.
No, it wasn't.
You'll never know.
It was not.
All right, and that is the podcast for the week. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next weekend on behalf of Nick and Cory and Todd. This is Bob saying we'll see you next time. Peace out.